Yes, finally a drag race comparison that's not comparing two utes. I've got the 2025 Chevy Corvette E-Ray versus the 2025 BMW CS. Now this is not a completely fair comparison just in terms of the vehicle class. I mean, they're both two-door sports cars, but the Corvette is what I would describe as a supercar. The engine is mid-mounted, so it's mounted behind the cabin or behind the seats in between the front and rear axle. While the BMW is a more conventional sort of sports car based on a sedan, front engine, it also has 4 seats. The Corvette is a strict 2-seater only. But there are various areas where these two do stack up quite evenly. The price, the Corvette is around $20,000 more expensive than the BMW, but I feel like at this end of the market, if you already can afford a $255,000 BMW M4 CS, you can probably dig a little bit deeper in your pockets to get out another 20 grand to get something like the Corvette, if you wanted to. So I thought I'd pitch these two together, both very quick vehicles, and they sort of are a bit of a last of the breed, I think anyway, or they could be. In the Corvette, we've got a 6.2 litre naturally aspirated V8, it's an LT2 I think, matched to an 8-speed dual clutch automatic, and then at the front we've got an electric motor producing around 119 kilowatts, creating 4-wheel drive. So this is a 4-wheel drive Corvette, which is a bit unusual, but so is being mid-engine if you look at the history of the Corvette. It's actually really quick and lots of fun to drive, but I'll talk more about that in the full review coming up. There's a 1.9 or 1.8 kilowatt hour battery providing a range of electric range of around 6 kilometers. You're not buying this to drive around as an electric vehicle. It's more about, well, I think anyway, it's more about just providing that extra boost, low-end torque, and grip around the corners. So you can pretty much floor it around the corners and it just rips you around because it's got the front axle drive. Total system power is 488 kilowatts, massive amount of power for this style of vehicle. In the BMW, we've got a 3-litre twin-turbo inline-6, 405 kilowatts, 650 newton meters. This is matched to a normal automatic, a ZF 8-speed automatic with 4-wheel drive mainly, but you can configure in the touchscreen menu, you can flick it over to rear-wheel drive if you want to. For this run, I'll do 4-wheel drive because it's fair with the Corvette, and that's the quickest you get out of the M4 as well, understandably. Just while I've got the Corvette here, it is a very cool looking vehicle. Like, it looks like a Ferrari a little bit from some angles. It's got a really long tail here, and then you can actually take off the roof, so it's a bit of a spider or a targa top if you like. You can put that in the boot compartment at the back here and just slide it in there, and it's got these little slots that it just clips into place. I've noticed the Corvette does wear massive 345/25 tyres on a 21-inch rim at the back at least. They're Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tyres, very good tyres. Then we've got two 75s on the front on a 20-inch rim. Carbon ceramic brakes there as well. And then on the BMW, you've got Pirelli's 285s on the back and two 75s on the front. They're not as wide, but in saying that, the Corvette does have a lot more power to put down to the ground. Now you might think the Corvette is very light in weight, and it is pretty light for a modern hybrid, but historically Corvettes, 1,200 kilograms, 1,500 kilograms. This weighs 1,825 kilograms, so it is pretty heavy for a Corvette. And it's actually heavier than the BMW. The BMW weighs 1,760 kilograms. Even so, with all that power, the power to weight ratio is in favor of the Corvette. It's 267 kilowatts per ton roughly versus 230 kilowatts per ton in the M4 CS. What do you think is going to win? I think the Corvette should take this. It is more powerful, has a better power to weight ratio, and has wider tires. I think officially, I couldn't find an official Corvette 0 to 100 time, maybe 3.1 or 3.2 or something like that. The BMW is 3.4. So yeah, we'll see how it goes for the full quarter mile. As usual, I'm going to set up the tripod 3 different spots down this private road for the full quarter mile. And then so basically I'm running them 3 times and then splice the footage together during the editing so they take off at the exact same time. So it looks like, well, it pretty much represents what a drag race would look like. These were filmed on 2 different days next to each other. So the weather is pretty much exactly the same. It's just a bit later in the day today for the Corvette. As usual, the runs at the end are my best sort of score I can get out of both vehicles. I usually do the V-Box timing first while the vehicles have had a nice big gulp of air driving here, and then I worry about doing the footage. So the V-Box results at the end in the table, that's the best results I got out of each on the day, regardless of what this footage looks like, which could represent real world as well. But yeah, if you really want to know what the best time is you can get out of the vehicles, or what I got anyway, you might be able to get quicker, but what I got out of the vehicles, the best results are at the end in the V-Box table. Let's see how they go. There we go, the Corvette gets there in the end, as you may have expected. It does have a lot more power, and I think it's a slightly different category of vehicle, but it's fun anyway. I think they're both awesome vehicles. What would I take out of the two? Well, putting the price difference aside, it's kind of an easy win for me because it just suits my personality more. That's all. They're both excellent vehicles, but I would take the BMW because, how can I explain this? When you're driving around at 3/10 or 4/10, or just driving normally, it feels like a normal luxury vehicle basically. Apart from the suspension, a little bit firmer compared with a full luxury model. You don't really know that you're in anything special. I like that, but then when you flog it, it just comes alive and it just, yeah, it's with you right there. Like it wants to be a part of what you're doing. This feels like it wants to go flat out everywhere, and it's got a lot of animation and character just sitting in it. You've got that low slung design, especially with this interior color package, all blue and everything. It just feels more animated and has a lot of character, which I get it. A lot of people like that as well. I'm just saying, in my personality, I prefer the sort of BMW style. I do like the way you can convert it to rear wheel drive as well at the touch of a button basically. Whereas this is always going to be four wheel drive. As far as I know, let me know in the comments if you can actually flick the electric motor off and convert it to rear wheel drive. And yeah, that'll be awesome if you can. But as far as I know, as far as the buttons and everything that I found inside, I can't see that you can do that. So for me, yeah, if I was on a track or something like that, I'd like the BMW. You can play around a little bit and then I can drive that home and kind of fly under the radar a little bit. Whereas this, it's just, yeah, so loud. It is very cool though. I love the design of this thing. It stands out. It kind of looks like a Ferrari from some angles. Yeah, it just looks like a Batmobile, you know, like it's got that presence about it. Like even the wheels, they almost stick out from the guards there, the front wheels. It's got those big gulping side intakes. It's an awesome package. And I think Chevy has done really well with the sort of hybrid side of things because, you know, if you tell a classic Corvette fan or a muscle car fan, hey, we're doing a hybrid, it's probably like, no, I don't really want that. I want a V8, you know. They've kept everything good about the V8 muscle car. It's still got a V8, still sounds awesome. It just adds a little bit more performance and it trims off the economy. But I'll talk more about that in the full review coming up. But yeah, surprisingly efficient when you're just cruising along the highway, and that would not be possible if it weren't for the electric motor at the front. Let me know what you would buy out of these two, or not buy, but what would you take out of these two, or buy. Maybe you are thinking about buying these two, or either of these two. What would you take? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching.